This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with V. Srinivas, Secretary, Department of Pensions and Pensioners Welfare on Digital Life Certificate Campaign 3.0 for pensioners. The interviewer is Aditya Shukla, Akashvani correspondent.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Can you provide an overview of the Digital Life Certificate campaign? What are its primary goals and expected outcomes for pensioners?
The Digital Life Certificate, Jeevan Praman, is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister Modi for digital empowerment of pensioners. The nationwide DLC campaign would be launched by the Honorable Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jiten Singh Ji, on November 6, 2024 at New Delhi. The DLC campaign will be held in 800 cities and towns of India from November 1 to November 30, 2024, in which all pensioners of central, state governments, EPFO, autonomous bodies can submit their digital life certificates at the pension disbursing banks or at the IPPB. Super senior pensioners can do it from their residences and are provided doorstep delivery of services. Leading pension disbursing banks like the State Bank of India, the Punjab National Bank, the Bank of India, the Bank of Baroda, the Central Bank of India, the Union Bank of India, the Bank of Maharashtra, UCO Bank, Punjab and Sindh Bank, Canara Bank and IPPB, along with private sector banks like ICICI, Axis Bank, HDFC, IDBI, J&K Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank will be coming together to implement the DLC campaign 3.0 on a nationwide basis. The details of the DLC campaign can be obtained from the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare website www.doppw.gov.in or from the Pensioners Portal www.pensionersportal.gov.in and the helpline number 1-800-111-960.
Can you provide the evolution of DLC campaigns? Like earlier it was offline and now it's almost online, and now we are moving towards face authentication.
The Digital Life Certificate campaigns emerged as a concept from the Chintan Shivir discussions of the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, which was addressed by the Honorable Prime Minister. In this Chintan Shivir, improving pensioners' welfare was a theme subject for deliberation. The Honorable Prime Minister exhorted officials of the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare to work for digital empowerment of pensioners on a nation-first, citizen-first approach. Accordingly, the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare conceptualized the DLC campaign 1.0 in the year 2022 in 37 cities in collaboration with pension disbursing banks, pensioner welfare associations, Ministry of Defence, the Departments of Telecom and Posts, Ministry of Railways, and for technical support to the UIDAI, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. The DLC campaign 1.0 was a huge success and resulted in generation of more than 1.41 crore DLCs, of which 42.69 lakhs were central government pensioners. Encouraged by the success of the DLC campaign 1.0, the DLC campaign 2.0 in 2023 was held at 597 locations in 100 cities in November 2023. 1.47 crore DLCs were generated, of which 45.46 lakhs were central government pensioners. 25.41 lakh DLCs were generated using face authentication technology, and more than 30,500 pensioners above the age of 90 years availed the benefits of the DLCs. The dissemination of information about the DLC campaign was through the All India Radio, through Doordarshan and PIB statements, as also through social media platforms. The DLC campaign in 2023, being implemented in 800 cities, is the largest ever campaign to be coordinated by the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare.
What was the procedure before the Jeevan Praman?
Prior to the digital empowerment of pensioners, pensioners had to submit the life certificate every year in the month of November for continuation of pension. In the traditional mode, pensioners had to submit life certificates in physical mode, and they had to stand in long queues outside the pension disbursing authorities. Further, there was no system of getting information on the status of their life certificate updation, particularly in the pension disbursing authorities, that is the banks and post office records.
How did Jeevan Praman transform the procedure for submission of digital life certificates?
The online submission of Jeevan Praman was launched by the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare in 2014. It is based on Aadhaar database. This greatly enhanced the ease of living of central government pensioners as the life certificate can be submitted anytime, anywhere. It's particularly useful for aged, disabled and sick pensioners and enables them to submit DLCs from the comfort of their homes. DLCs can be submitted using biometric devices, iris scanners, and above all, face authentication technology. It is possible to give DLC certificate using any Android-based smartphone. This is a huge improvement over the biometric device using thumb impression for DLC generation. In many cases, the old-aged pensioners, the rims of thumbs become faint and could not be captured. So face authentication became the most acceptable and popular form of submission of digital life certificates. We have not only the ministries of Government of India but also several state governments, EPFO and autonomous bodies, pensioners participating in the DLC campaigns using face authentication. And there has been immense satisfaction levels of pensioners that are being witnessed.
As you mentioned, DLC campaign 3.0 is the largest of the campaigns that have been conducted till date. So in terms of preparation, if we ask, then what was the level of preparation and how the implementation will be taken?
The Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare will be the nodal department for coordinating the third nationwide Digital Life Certificate campaign, which will be held in 800 cities and districts across India from November 1 to 30th of 2024. The guidelines of this DLC campaign were notified on 9th August 2024. We've had a number of meetings with the pension disbursing banks, the India Post Payments Bank, the Pensioner Welfare Associations, the Controller General of Defence Accounts, the Department of Telecom, Ministry of Railways, UIDAI, MeitY, with the aim of touching all the pensioners in all districts across the country. The DLC Campaign 3.0 seeks to modernize and streamline the process for pensioners to submit their life certificates. The primary goal is to reduce the physical burden on elderly pensioners, enhance ease of living, and improve efficiency in the pension disbursement process. The expected outcomes include easier submission of certificates and quicker processing times, and the elimination of the need for pensioners to visit government offices in person. There is greater accessibility and also increased awareness about the digital means, and super senior pensioners are increasingly using digital models for digital life certificate submission.
So this initiative will simplify the process for pensioners to submit their life certificate, especially for elderly and those living in the remote areas. Is it correct?
Yes, the initiative will greatly simplify the submission process and allow them to submit life certificates through digital means. So the mobile app, Jeevan Praman, biometric devices and other online platforms are increasingly used. Special emphasis is being given to super senior pensioners, and they are provided doorstep delivery of DLC services. And these can be obtained from the nearest pension disbursing bank or from the district post office through the India Post Payments Bank. The IPPB will be conducting camps at 785 districts through its vast network of 1.8 lakh postmen and Gramin Dak Sevaks, the details of which can be obtained through the IPPB portal www.ippbonline.com. All postmen and Gramin Dak Sevaks have been well equipped with mobile phones which will be used for the DLC campaign through finger, biometric and face authentication techniques.
So India Post Payment Bank, they have been contacted and they have been the partner of this campaign for the first time, if I am correct?
Yes, in the previous two campaigns, the implementation was through the pension disbursing banks, that is largely led by the State Bank of India, the Punjab National Bank and other public sector pension disbursing banks. In this campaign, the DLC campaign 3.0, the IPPB has been roped in as a key partner for implementing the campaign in all district headquarters at the district post offices in India.
Sir, what support mechanisms are in place to assist senior citizens or those who may not be that tech savvy in using the digital system?
Several support mechanisms are in place to assist the pensioners who may not be comfortable with technology. These include dedicated helplines, in-person assistance at camps organized by all the stakeholders, that is the pension disbursing banks, the India Post Payment Bank, the pensioner welfare associations, and there are video tutorials and step-by-step guides to help pensioners navigate the entire process. The pensioner welfare associations have been active participants in implementation of the campaign. This time, we also have tried to reach out to the local post offices to offer hands-on support in the rural areas.
Is there a plan to gather feedback from pensioners about their experience with the digital life certificate system? And what is the timeline for its nationwide adoption? How will feedback and progress be tracked to improve the system?
Government has placed a lot of emphasis on citizen feedback to ensure ease of living and also to ensure that there are no glitches in implementation of this Pan-India DLC Campaign 3.0. The Minister of Personnel, the Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jiten Singh Ji, has endeavoured to reach out directly to pensioners in his interactive sessions on the successful implementation of DLC campaigns. Further, the DLC campaign portal also receives a huge amount of feedback, and the pensioner welfare associations can be contacted for in-person interactions at various camps. There is also a dedicated helpline number on which citizen pain points can be conveyed and improvements in system delivery, as also to ensure that the system remains user-friendly and accessible to all pensioners. If there are residual pensioners who are left out who could not submit their digital life certificates in the month of November, they can submit it by 31st of December 2024.
So, are there any specific awareness campaigns or training programs to educate pensioners on how to use the digital life certificate system? Have they been conducted?
The department has endeavoured to reach out to all post offices across India and to ensure that awareness campaigns are available at all district levels. These campaigns include the social media outreach, television advertisements, and training programs in collaboration with various stakeholders. Training sessions have been held with post offices, banks, and pensioner welfare associations, as also with the CGDA, a Unique Identification Authority, and MeitY to help the ground staff understand on how to use the system. We've also had several promotional videos through Doordarshan, All India Radio, and PIB teams who are fully geared up to provide full support to this campaign through audio, visual, and print publicity.
If you talk about the challenges, so what challenges have been encountered so far in implementing the Digital Life Certificate campaign, and how are they being addressed?
The main challenges that we have faced so far include limited digital literacy among elderly pensioners and internet connectivity issues in some parts of the country. To address these challenges, we are focusing on mass awareness and training programs to improve digital literacy and offering alternative biometric-based services for those without reliable internet access.
Is there any alternate non-digital method for pensioners to submit their life certificates for those who cannot access the digital platform?
Yes, the alternative non-digital methods will remain available for those who are unable to access the digital platform. Pensioners can submit their life certificates through traditional means such as visiting pension offices or using post offices. The goal is to provide multiple options so that no pensioner is excluded from the pension process.
What message would you like to convey to pensioners and citizens about the importance of embracing technology?
Prime Minister has given the message that digital empowerment of pensioners is the highest priority for the government, and we would like to encourage all pensioners to participate in the nationwide DLC campaign 3.0 to make it a huge success. The data collected through the digital life certificates is adequately secure, and the technology is subjected to multiple security audits, as also through repeated multiple authentications that have been provided within the system.
So, sir, you came to our studio and gave our listeners a detailed view about the Digital Life Certificate Campaign 3.0. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to an exclusive interview with V. Srinivas, Secretary, Department of Pensions and Pensioners Welfare on Digital Life Certificate Campaign 3.0 for pensioners. The interviewer was Aditya Shukla, Akashvani correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.